Bom Lombard LUFC, do you think the club should be looking for a long-term commitment from Bielsa? Now, this is a really interesting one from Andy. How do we plan for future progress when the manager won't commit to more than a season at a time? In the summer, we'll be giving him significant cash, and he might only be there for another year. Now, it's a loaded question, a really loaded question, a really good question. It brings up a lot of points. It brings up a lot of scenarios that as Leeds fans, we don't want to talk about, think about, etc. But there's going to be a time when Marcelo Bielsa leaves Leeds United. We know it. We don't like to admit it. We don't like to entertain it. But it will happen. He's not going to be around forever. The contingency plan, as I keep saying, for me, has to be there for everything, every scenario. Another midfielder, another defender, another goalkeeper, another tea lady. You know, they're all important components in the Leeds United machine that is rolling on. Marcelo Bielsa is the driver of that component. He's the driver of the machine. He's the engineer. He's put it all together. So it's a frightening thought thinking about Marcelo Bielsa leaving the helm at Leeds United. I think the 1 year rotation rule that he has, or it's not rotation, is it? Because it's not coming back on itself. But, you know, the prolonged plan, which he keeps doing, I think it's sort of self-security as well. You know, Bielsa has been burnt before when he's tied himself down to long contracts. There's been disputes before when, you know, he's left the club and this, that, and the other. Lawyers have been involved, firms have been involved. And I think right now he's at that moment in his career where he doesn't need that. He doesn't need that hassle. So he's embedded himself into Leeds. We thought last year he would leave. He didn't. You know, we thought the year before he would leave. He didn't. I firmly believe Marcelo Bielsa is embedded within the fabric of this club. I don't think he is being loved. Maybe, well, obviously at Newell's Old Boys, but I don't think he's been taken in by any other fan base. And other fan bases may disagree here. Than Leeds United, he's just a complete god here. You know, we know he's still, you know, he supports Knowles. He's been seen as a god there, and he is a god there. He's the number one there. But a close second, I think, is Leeds United, and I think he knows that. I think he is so respectful of what he's been given, and as long as Marcelo Bielsa is given the tools, we're not getting involved, and we're not trying to get in, you know, be in this Premier League saga where the board get involved with the manager, which he's had before. He's had that before at Lazio. He's had that before at Bilbao, Marseille. He's had that before. He does not want that. And what Bielsa wants is the control given to him. And he's having that right now at Leeds. So why would he leave? He's in the first division of English football. Okay, yeah, he doesn't like the media hype. I'm sure there's a lot of things he doesn't like, but I think he loves a lot more than what he hates in England and at Leeds United. And I think he feels as well that he wants to see the fans in the Premier League. He wants to experience that. He's a romanticist. He loves football. And I think he wants to see Leeds United fans back in the Premier League. And I think he wants that whole experience. I would be stunned if he left at the end of this year. And I think we've got to be a little bit understanding the fact that if he brings in players, these players will want a guarantee that Marcelo Bielsa is going to be there in a year's time. He's going to be there in 2 years' time. So for me, Bielsa is going to be at Leeds for a good amount of time. That's my personal opinion. I think Marcelo Bielsa will be at Leeds for a considerable amount of time. And that's what makes us able to go out and acquire his targets, secure players who can play in his position, because Bielsa will feel a duty of care to those guys as well. Dream signing a new pitch, says Louis. That's it. Ben Sunderland, what do you think on signing Andre Villas-Boas? Yeah, I mean, I always look at Corberan. Corberan, I know what's going on right now, but from what I've heard of Corberan, he's looked upon as a genius. You know, you look at Romario Vieira's interview as well with Phil Hay, which I'd encourage you all to go look at. He quotes Corberan as a genius. An absolute genius. He's worked under Bielsa, and this is what I keep talking about, the contingency plan, the output, the plan. He's been under Bielsa, he gets it. And as long as we can continue this, the Bielsa legacy will be left behind. But people like Corberan can take that legacy, make it into his own, like Guardiola's done, you know, like Pochettino's done, like Simeone's done. All these people had to start from the ground up. Corberan's no different. So I would encourage every single one of you to keep an eye on Huddersfield Town, because what they're doing at this moment in time is they're playing some great football. They're trying to get there. They're nowhere near there yet, but They're trying their very best to get there, and it's through Corberan. And he speaks so well. Signings, very, very interesting. So for me, Corberan is the one I keep looking at after Bielsa. I don't want to think about it, but Aled Davis here, Corberan in, get Carlos in. A lot of people with a lot of love for Corberan, and he knows everything about Leeds. He's been there through the good times. He's been there through the bad times, and as well, the big thing, he knows the youth, which is massive for me.